Hi there, good morning. I'm Raleigh Brown. This is another curve flattening concert, and folks are streaming in here. I see Keith Shaw, Helene Tober Fowler, and Steve Walker, Marlene Burke, Slim Edelman, and Tom Dietz, Charlie Bryant, Ken Nashif, Warren and Janelle, Bob McKenna, and Jim Moore, Lori Payne, and Kathy Marsick. Good to see you all here. And we're going to kind of get right to it because I might do a lot of stuff today. There are a lot of requests. I'm doing this show kind of by request. A couple folks had asked me to do an all original show, and ever filled with vanity, I said sure, I'd love to. So this first one was I'm not going to remember everybody who requested what, but I know that Ken Nashif really likes this song, so we're going to start out with this. In just a minute. First we will clink. I'm just clinking with water today because I'm all coffeeed up. Here's to you all, and hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And are having a lovely day today as well. And in speaking of lovely, here's a little morning pic of Charlie the dog. He was hiding under the table this morning, and I managed to grab a shot of him there. He looked a little surprised that I snuck the camera under there and got a shot of him. So there he is for you. And he's been a good boy. He had a real adventure yesterday. I'll tell you about it in a little while. So here we go. Hear those birds a singing, see those leafy trees, smell the new mown grass at dawn, feel that morning breeze. Turn on all your senses, ain't that sky so blue? Get out into nature, that's what I'm gonna do. I wanna hear well, I went out to the park, and I sat down in the grass. I was remembering that Beatle who sang all things must pass. And I thought about enlightenment and how I'd see it through. You know, I'm getting near my sell-by date. There'd be a lot for me to do. I want to hear what can't be heard. I want to see what can't be seen. I want to travel the cosmos in a yellow submarine. I want to learn the songs of birds and go with them as they fly. I want to spend more time outside, 'cause time is passing by. I asked a friend on his deathbed what he'd regret when he died. He said he wished he'd had more women and that he'd spent more time outside. Well, I don't care about the women, well, maybe just a few, but I plan to spend more time outside. That at least is true. I want to hear what can't be heard. I want to see what can't be seen. I want to travel the cosmos in a yellow submarine. I want to learn the songs of birds and go with them as they fly. I want to spend more time outside, 'cause time is passing by. Spend more time outside. Let me see who else has shown up here. Deb Leby Clark and Michael Tierson, Skip Staples, who just wrote me yesterday, Kate Petrella, Jim Greco, Aretta and Ron, Jeff Blumenthal, hey Jeff, Pam Zappardino, Heidi McClure, Carol Pred, Karen Beatty in New York City. What a crowd. David Arthur Ratcliffe, my good friend Ann Mintz, who I will see later today, and Kate Mack, and Steve DeHaas on YouTube, Rick Williams, my buddy, my dog walking buddy, the owner, the guardian of Maxie the dog, and Mike Verbeek, Gene Galligan, Eben Atwater, and Donna Bergman, and Donna Greenberg, and Linda Worster. What a crowd. And Dave Van Allen. So welcome aboard to all of you. Next up, I am going to sing a song I wrote probably in 2021. One last look in the rearview mirror as westward you move on. The past recedes, it's just a whisper. Since December you've been gone. Keep your foot off the brake, don't slow down for heaven's sake. Mind the road up ahead, don't dwell on what was said. It ain't no use to cry, just say goodbye to the rear view mirror. It ain't no use to cry, just say goodbye to the rear view mirror. There's a horse out in the field as the wind begins to rise. Dark clouds are rolling, and though you've lost something dear, the air begins to clear. A new day is unfolding. Let the tailwind drive you on, feel the engine's mighty hum. Later on you'll chase the sun until the day is done. Up ahead the big sky, just lean in and don't ask why. Keep your foot off the brake, don't slow down, for heaven's sake. It ain't no use to cry, just say goodbye to the rear view mirror. It ain't no use to cry, just say goodbye. That's called The Rearview Mirror. And I think everything I'm doing today, except for the instrumentals, I think everything I'm doing is on my songwriter CD, which is available at Bandcamp if you don't have it. I think many of you do. I see Clifford Wagner is on, along with Ann Mintz. And Michael Miller is here. I think I said hi to just about everybody else. Rhonda Scott Merrick. Cozy Sheridan. Cozy is either still in Rome or on her way back. But I have it on good authority from Charlie, pardon me, Charlie the human, not to be confused with Charlie the dog, that they will be live streaming on Tuesday, and I'll go over all that stuff a little bit later. Like that. I think I've said hi to you all. So next up, this was a request. This is a song I wrote. I went through a big, everybody, you all know I'm a big dog guy, and it started out also with being a wolf guy. I was really interested in wolves, and went through a period where went to wolf preserves, and I'd go to the zoo and sit at the wolf enclosure at the Philly Zoo and just watch them hang out, do their thing. Read a bunch of books about wolves. It's all part of my study of dog behavior too. And this song came out of that. It came out of the Barry Holston Lopez book, Of Wolves and Men. Still a great book, and this story is in that book. Mama died giving birth one night. No one inside to help deliver. They found no babe when they came next day. Hungry wolves, they say, on Devil's River. 10 years pass, Apache warriors say. They've seen tracks, strange footprints, one day. They see tracks of young wolves at play, and of the child, so they say, on Devil's River. White men come with their fire and guns. Are they gonna catch someone on Devil's River? And in a canyon, they finally cornered their proof. Caught a young girl and drove off a wolf. They bound her hands and they took her back, locked her up in a shack on Devil's River. Many wolves on the prowl that night. They heard her howl that night. All the cattle spooked, the cowboys watched them till dawn. They returned, they found the wolf girl was gone. I heard this tale, mine and silver ore, Just a tale and nothing more on Devil's River. But late last month, when the moon was full, I saw two wolves with one young girl on Devil's River. On Devil's River purported to be a true story. Who knows for sure? So I'm going to do one more song, and then I will do announcements after that, and this one, and then we'll do more songs after that. It's a song I wrote a long time ago. Still a favorite of mine to sing. There's songs you write or just songs you've learned from other people that it just gives you a physical pleasure to sing them, and that's what I do on the long nights. Well, I had a dream about you, and I woke up thinking of you, remembering of hearing of the hard times that you'd seen. And I remember you were moving to Kentucky or Virginia, and I heard about your hard times, I wondered how you've been. Well, it's 4 years since I've seen you, and 8 years since I loved you, and I had no love before you, though I've been in love since then. I recall the sweetness of it. You were young and warm and quiet, and I hoped that you would always consider me a friend. And I heard about your marriage, how he was old and you were younger, and of how it burst asunder, and you went back home to stay. And I prayed that you weren't bitter, for your youth was so much sweeter. I hope you're sometimes smiling, and you'll someday pass my way. Well, I had a dream about you, and I woke up thinking of you, remembering of hearing of the hard times that you'd seen. And I remember you were moving to Kentucky or Virginia, and I heard about your hard times, and I wondered how you'd been. How you been? I had a dream about you, about my first young love many of these years ago. I wonder where she is now. I think she might be in Virginia, actually. So we do have some announcements, and the Invisibles are Judith Fox, Joel Biget, Mario Prue, and George Young. And there is, as usual, a PayPal link right there where my finger's pointing, and Venmo if you'd like to contribute. And that's about it. Well, oh yeah, the Zoom meeting will be Wednesday, December 18th. I have put a link up on the Denizens of Raleigh World page, and if you're not on that page and you're a regular here, you can message me on Facebook, or you can email me at raleigh@raleigh.brown.com, and we'll get you squared away so you could be on that Zoom meeting where we all get to say hi to each other and hear your actual voices. And that'll be, again, it'll be after the Wednesday 3 p.m. concert on the 18th, so probably about 3:30 on Wednesday, December 18th, the week before Christmas. And I am on right now. I don't know who's on Monday. Somebody will say. Cozy and Charlie will be on Tuesday morning at 10:30 at Cozy's page. Always a treasure to hear those guys. And maybe we'll hear some of their adventures in Rome. I saw a lot of pictures. And then on Wednesday, I'll be back in the afternoon, and Steve Walker, I believe, is doing a concert at 7 in the evening. So you can check him out. He's on here with us somewhere, I think, right now. And let me see if I'm missing anybody. Larry Pattis is here. Hey, Larry. John Hubner, my good friend from Ohio from the early years. And Rick Williams just posted a Reddit page on wolves. Wolves are big, yo. I'll have to check that out later. And Rich Fowler is here. And Chris Layden out there in Colorado. Hope you are doing well. And who else am I missing here? Jeanette Pasqua, maybe Rich Pasqua as well. Rich makes beautiful guitars and great sounding ones as well, which is even harder. Ben Layden, hi Ben. And the ever humble Cozy Sheridan says Pshaw, and Steve Walker says yes, I'm on Facebook this Wednesday. Good. So then I'll be back on Wednesday. Okay, I did all the announcements. All the announcements are done. So next up, I'll do an instrumental for you, and this is a dog instrumental, one of my many dog instrumentals. This was for Django the dog. He was a great little guy. Much more even-tempered than Charlie. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you about Charlie. So yesterday, Charlie found a ball at the park, and he got excited, which he rarely does. So I let him off lead, and Maxie was off lead, and they were running around like maniacs. I should have videoed it, but I was busy, dealing with it. And then our friend Sue came with her dog Goldie, who's a golden retriever, who usually Goldie kind of just reached maturity, and physically, if not emotionally. And so usually when she and Charlie go nose to nose, they might start snarling at each other, or Charlie might snap at her. But we just said, well, let's try this, and she let Goldie off lead, and the three of them rampaged around the meadow there for a while. Charlie was mostly focused on getting his ball and having me throw his ball, but the idea of Charlie being off lead with two other dogs, not just his sweetheart Maxie, was really a watershed moment. Rick was there for it. He could tell you. So it was really great. Anyhow, Django's ball. Speaking of balls. Django's Ball. Ah, I miss that fluffy little guy. Django had fur that was like the fur on a really soft stuffed animal. It was unlike any other dog fur I ever found. He was the fluffiest of dogs. On the road long ago, back when my ducks were all in a row, up on stage with an old friend, we played our songs, we took a break, then I made my first mistake. My whole life, it's been up and down since then. I was standing there with a glass of beer, just taking in the atmosphere, when an old flame snuck in and stole a kiss. If I knew then what I know now, I probably would have known just how destiny would steal much more than this. Fate is such a funny thing. A life can turn on the beat of a butterfly's wing. Time's so bitter, time's so sweet. It all began on Hessler Street. From that day my life changed, all my plans were disarranged. I was living under a spell. Now I would love to blame somebody else, but I had done it to myself. In time I knew it all too well. The summer went by in a flash. My former life had turned to ash. There was no one to whom I could return. When the whole thing fell apart, there I sat with my broken heart and one sad lesson to learn. Fate is such a funny thing. A life can turn on the beat of a butterfly's wing. Time's so bitter, time's so sweet. It all began on Hessler Street. Now if I could go back and take one more try at that first mistake, there's no telling where I'd be. You roll the dice and you take your shot. You learn to live with what you've got. What would have been remains a mystery. Fate is such a funny thing. A life can turn on the beat of a butterfly's wing. Time's so bitter, time's so sweet. It all began on Hessler Street. Everything turned on Hessler Street. that's for the Clevelanders in the audience. I saw my old buddy Jim Turpin showed up here on YouTube. Hey Jim, I hope you are doing well. I haven't run into you in the real world or online in a while. And Aisling Bain is here, and Frank Mato, and let me see if there's anyone else I'm missing. David Klein, hey David, and that seems to cover most of it. If I missed anybody, I apologize. It's just my old brain, all this multitasking, it's tough. So I have another doggy instrumental for you. This one was written for Suki the dog, who was Charlie's predecessor. Suki was my first cattle dog mix, and if I had a brain, she would have been my last, because she was a problem child, but we got her ironed out after a while, and Charlie's getting ironed out too, even though he made Suki look like a walk in the park by comparison. Okay, here we go. So this is called The Dark Princess. Dark Princess. And Suki was that. She lived in a dark little world, that girl. I felt for her, but there's only so much you can do to help. And we tried to shed as much light as we could into that world. And yeah, we were partially successful. So I think I'll have one more for you here. How many do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's a pretty good number. And this is my song. I think I just did this recently, but I'll do it again because somebody, I think Carol Pred requested it. And it's a song I wrote for you guys who helped me through some really dark times, the anniversary of which is looming here for me. There's a light in the east as the new day begins, and I search for some wisdom to embrace. I have sat in this chair with my head in my hands, prayed for a moment of grace. And the days ramble on in their fanciful way, as they did when I was in my prime. but the road up ahead has an ominous haze with the unyielding passage of time. So dear friends, gather round me, share in the running of the race. Your goodwill will surround me as we cherish these moments of grace. Now I can live in this refuge and fend off despair with my dog, my music, and my friends. And my heart reaches out as you're joining me there to embrace each moment till it ends. So dear friends, gather round me, share in the running of the race. Your goodwill will surround me as we cherish these moments of grace. Share the love and share the pain. Miles apart we stand together in these days till we meet face to face. So dear friends, gather around me, share in the running of the race. Your goodwill will surround me as we cherish these moments of grace. There's a light in the east as the new day begins. So thank you so much, as always, for joining me another year. Soon it'll be 5 years since the pandemic started and I started doing these concerts, and many of you have stuck with me through all that time. It's just unbelievable to me how gracious you've been. So be happy and be healthy. Be brave and be calm. Be kind, it's a snap. And if you get cranky, take a nap. That's what my old buddy Alex would say. Take care. Have a great beginning of the week. I'll hope to see you all on Wednesday. And be safe.